Hi everyone, so we're back with yet another easy, cute and simple kids hairstyle, and this one right here is more of a challenge because I attempted the feeding technique for the very first time and I'm so happy how it came out. I'm still a learner when it comes to braiding, and thankfully I have two heads to learn with. They absolutely love our mommy-daughter time while braiding, and of course they always can't wait to see the finished look. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, of course, the very first thing is to go ahead and lay out the products, and all we're using today is some jam. This is actually very good when you're braiding, like it's a holy grail for me. And then I have some edge control. This is good for the edges, and also sometimes I use it while braiding the hair itself. And then I have expression. You guys know I'm not really a big fan of expression braiding hair, even though they have the stretched hair. For some reason, my favorite braiding hair is Spectra, but the problem I have with Spectra is, number one, it's always sold out, and then number two, I think even with expression, the stretched out ones, they start from 20 inches, and for kids you need, like, I always like to use 14 or 16 inches for my kids, so I find myself having to buy the ones that are not drawn out, the ones that are not stretched out yet, so I'll be able to cut it and then stretch it to the length I want. And then also I have some beads. You guys know I just love beads when it comes to kids hair, and this right here is actually a holy grail. This is a lifesaver, you guys, especially when you're doing feeding braids. I just discovered this on Amazon and I'm so happy because it makes it so much easier when you're working with feeding braids. You can just go ahead, stretch your hair, work on it, so it makes it so much easier. You just go ahead and cut your braiding hair, stretch it, do everything you need to do, and just put the braids, not the braids, and just put the hair on those display things on that table right there. I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah, I just find it very, very easy because once I start braiding, I just see myself picking from there and just adding to the hair, picking from there and adding to the hair, and yeah, it makes life so much easier. You all can see, this is what I'm talking about. You just first of all section and just position the braiding hair right on that thing, so that once you start braiding, you just go ahead and pick and braid, pick and braid. Of course, the twins, they had to say hi. All right, so the very first person I'm doing is Leaky, and you guys, as you all can see, this is a lot of hair to deal with, and the twins' hair are 100% natural. So the very first thing I like to do is to go ahead and section off the hair, and I always kind of look at the front of their look at their face to figure out how to go about with cutting the hair. I think the more you practice, the more you get the hang of it when it comes to cutting hair, so that it will look all systemized, and it will look in line. Sometimes I remember when I used to cut hair and then some will go one sided and the other ones will go another side. It was just a mess, and I just went ahead and added some jam. This actually makes it very, very easy for me when I'm braiding, and I like to apply it right in front of their hair. And also when I start braiding, I like to kind of add the jam a little into their hair because their hair is natural. So when I don't use the jam, after maybe a few days, you kind of start seeing their natural hair peeping through the braids, which I absolutely hate. So I always like to use jam when I'm braiding their hair. So as you all can see, normally what I like to do is to go ahead and use their natural hair to start off the braids. So I just use the front of their hair, kind of braid it into maybe 4 or 5 braids, and then I begin adding the feeding. And you see what I'm talking about with the display thing. It just makes it easy because you just go ahead, pick up the braiding hair. You see, you add it onto the hair you're braiding. It just makes life so much easier. And how I normally do the feeding braid is, like how I did the feeding braid is, I put in the braiding hair, as you all can see. So I put in, and then I braid like 3 times. I normally do like 3 to 4 braids and then go ahead and add a new braiding hair, and it just makes everything look very, very professionally done by the time we're all done with the braiding. So I like to kind of add the hair, kind of do 3 braids and then add another feeding braid. I know, like the professional people, I think they always add feeding braids every one braid, but for me, I'm still a learner, and that is just a lot of work for me. So I just do it where I put in the feeding, braid like three braids, and then put in another braiding hair. You guys are gonna see it with this particular hair I'm cutting right here. Don't worry. And I washed the twins' hair yesterday. I always like to kind of give them a very fresh and new wash whenever I know I'm going to be braiding their hair. And I just love braiding their hair, you guys, because it makes it so much easier. You like it lasts for 3 to 4 weeks. You have at least 3 to 4 weeks to just relax and rest, and before I start the new braid, of course I had to kind of fill in the display. All right, so here, as you all can see, I just added the braiding hair, and then I'm going to braid 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'll pick up another braiding hair and kind of cross it. You see, it's very, very easy. Like, I learned how to do this just taking my kids to the braiding shop. Like I always tell you guys, we used to take them to an African braiding store before. But what I did was, while I was taking them there, I just had to like put my eye on them while they're making their hair, and I just started to kind of learn how they braid hair. It made it so much easier, because over here for you to make kids hair is like $70-$100 depending on the style, and sometimes $120 for the two of them. Whenever we want to braid their hair with the braiding hair and also tip, we always consider like $250 every 3 to 4 weeks. And I was like, this is too much. So what I did for the meantime was, whenever I took them to the braiding store, to the braiding shop to get their hair braided, I would just sit there and I will be helping, the people. I will be helping them, and sometimes they will braid. I will tell them, oh, I want to finish the braids. I just kept using, like, looking at them, seeing how they do it, and then I just kept learning. And then when we get home, when the kids take down their hair, I just start practicing with their hair, just like that, guys. Like, just like that. I was never into braiding or anything like that. But when you have two girls, you don't have any option, man. You gotta do what you have to do. So I just had to learn, and I'm so thankful, because at least I have the both of them to practice with, and they don't really bother me. They allow mommy to do what she has to do. So over here, I always like to braid like 5 braids and then go ahead and trim it. It kind of motivates me to continue, something like that. So I always kind of like to trim the hair, to trim the braids and make it look very cute. And over here, I'm just going to go ahead and add 3 beads each to each braid. So 3 beads for each braid, as you all can see. And I also bought this particular this thing I'm using to put in the braids from a beauty supply store, and it made it so much easier. You just put the beads and then go ahead and, as you all can see, just fit it into the braid, and then you can use an elastic band to just tie it around. You see, I just go ahead and use the hair, tie it around the bead, and then use an elastic band to secure it. Like I said, just doing half of the hair and then finishing it up just motivates me to continue, especially when you have 2 heads to deal with. Like, I'm working with the first twin right here, and then I have the second twin waiting for me with her hair. So I need to motivate myself as much as possible. So with me just putting the beads and putting this on her hair, it kind of, okay, it's looking cute, it's looking good, and it just motivates me to continue doing it. And we're just repeating the exact same thing. You put in the braid, you braid like 3 or 4 braids, 2, 3, and 4, and then you pick up. Just watch this, you guys. You would see it's very, very easy. It's actually very easy, guys. Honestly, feeding braids used to scare me. I used to be like, I haven't even finished learning the normal braids. It's to go and try feeding braids, but I had to challenge myself. One day I was just like, "Nah, I just have to learn," and I'm so happy that this right here is like my first original attempt, like my first, because sometimes I would just sit them down and then I would try like one braid, and then I'll be like, oh, it doesn't look good, and then I take it down. But today was like my very first time of sitting them down and making a full head of feeding braid. So I would say this is kind of my very first attempt at making a feeding braid. And yeah, you guys, let me know what you think. Do you think I did well? I don't know, but from what I'm seeing right here, I think at least I tried my best, being my very first attempt. And of course, we had to change around so that you guys can see the other side of the braids. Like, I was so happy that that this particular head is almost finished, guys. Like, I was so excited. I was like, let me just finish this and move on to the next one. And she too, she was already getting tired. She was already getting tired, guys. It's always like that. Like, when you start braiding, even it happens to me when I go to braid my hair. When they start, oh, it's like, okay, it's all okay, but then towards the end it's like, oh, can we just be done? That's exactly her mood right here. But at least I'm happy that, she liked her hair. And I had to take a break because a pregnant woman have to eat, guys. I had to eat something, even though I didn't even finish the food, but I had to just put something in my stomach and then continue. And this is basically it, guys. I just finished with the first twin, and I had to trim it, add the beads, and also I used them a little bit of hot water, not like boiling hot, but just to make the hair look relaxed. And then I went ahead and added this I can't even remember what this is called. It's just to make the hair look really cute. And we are all done with the first twin. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so we are on to the second twin. Of course, like I always tell you guys, these children, they watch my videos a lot, especially the videos they feature in. And when you use one twin to edit a video and then the second twin doesn't see herself, they won't let you rest. They will talk about it for days. Mommy, you didn't show me in your video. You didn't show me in your video. So I always try as much as possible to like kind of show them, the both of them in my video. But it was just the exact same thing we did. And here is the second twin. And yeah, guys, of course they had to do some shakara. You guys, if you watch my videos, you already know them now. So they had to show off their hair. And yeah, guys, I think this is all there is to this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and please, 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 please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, because it wasn't easy, but at least we made it. All right, guys, till my next video, I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.